Hello, everyone. This is that most anticipated how the market turned $13 into 1,000. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to hop on. Not gonna keep y'all here long unless y'all want to get more bang for your buck. But just gonna show you guys what happened in the market yesterday with SPX falling more than $200. SPY dropping almost 20. So if you can hear me, gotta fix my mic. If you can hear me, drop a one. Let me know y'all can hear me. Testing out my new mic again. So y'all let me know that y'all can hear me. At any point in time, y'all can't hear me, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Again, won't be here long, but we about to have some fun and show how much money was made yesterday. So first off, we got to go into, again, I got to teach y'all before I preach to y'all and try to take y'all money. And it's really not about the money. It's about the access to the markets that are providing people with a lot of capital to in turnover time so quickly. So let's start out with Forex Factory. So if you guys are paying attention to the stock market, or if you've never paid attention to the stock market, this is the optimal time to be paying attention. If you look here on the side of my screen under my watch list, SPX, the S&P 500, our index, this uh, entity, indice, dropped over $200, and SPY, which is my baby, my favorite, my go-to, dropped almost $20. Those are life-changing drops in the market that cause for reset. And most of y'all might be thinking, well, Chaz, it dropped yesterday. I missed it. What do I do now? Well, if you look here on my chart, we still have more dropping that could potentially happen. We have not retraced or refilled gaps to the downside tremendously, and we still left a gap back up to the upside. So just like the market dropped $19, it can make the stairway back to heaven to regain those 200 points or $20 on SPY, or we can start to scale down and lose more. So again, if you trade SPY or SPX, drop those in the chat. Drop your favorite ticker in the chat. Thank you, Blossom and Bloom. Thank you, Wes. Thank y'all for letting me know y'all can't hear me. Great. So we're gonna get started and get to this money. So again, the first thing, we're gonna go to Forex Factory. What happened yesterday? What caused the market to drop? So if you go back and you look at the calendar for yesterday, what was the big leading thing? Calm down. Oh, dang, it won't pop up. We had non-farm employment change, unemployment rates yesterday, overnight, and that's why it seamlessly triggered the market. It was a extreme difference, and this is the change in number of employed people during the previous month, excluding farming industry. That was one of our triggers, and we had unemployment rate. Again, percentage of total workforce that is unemployed and actively seeking employment during the previous month. Now, this is to scale because we have people who are not on the clock on the market. We have entrepreneurs, we have people that will not be accounted for in this data. But this was a tremendous move drop in the market. Now, usually we don't see a full type of steam of this, but again, there's so much uncertainty. We have a lot of things that are also triggering that as well. High gas prices, inflation, the Strait of Hormuz still not being open. So again, with swing trading, I have been warning all of my clients and anybody that works with me, hey, do not swing right now. If you're swinging, look for a long-term potential, or let your portfolio be able to absorb that. And if you have capital and you have uh, hard shares in your portfolio, definitely selling while the company is down is not the ideal. I'm going to walk you guys through that because you guys have been paying attention. SpaceX is coming. I've heard people who don't even talk about the stock market or know anything about Elon Musk talking about they buying SpaceX. So we're going to go into that too. If this episode don't last too long, I got about 3-4 topics that I'm about to bang out on YouTube. So right now we're going to talk about the S&P drop, how you can capitalize on it next week. I will be showing you guys how you can trade in the stock market for free and what to look for next week. And then how do you get in on buying shares or being able to invest in SpaceX. So all of those episodes coming. Stay tuned. So let's get into what happened, how the market sold off, what are the other potentials, and how do you capitalize? Well, first off, we did leave a gap to the upside. We sold off $20. So you should be looking at, if you're looking for swings and you're thinking the market's going to recover next week, look at those calls. Look at 740, look at 750. That's going to be your range for us to come back and fill the gap to the upside. If you feel like, nope, we've hit the peak and now it's time for us to just fall off a cliff, start looking to those downsides, 720, 727, psychological 730. Then we have 722 down to 719. We have some micro gaps in here too. 713, we're going to have a psychological area gap at 700, 701, and then even lower, 687. This huge move down as well down here, 671, 659, like 660. And then the full support down here at this 633 to 638. A lot of people are looking like, hey, we're headed down. We're about to drop 100 points. We're headed down to the 630s. We can again. We take the long road. Like, it's harder for us to climb back up to these higher highs than it is for us to fall down. Just think about it as if you go mountain climbing. It's harder for you to go up. If you go upstairs, it's harder to go up than it is to fall. You can easily slide off a cliff to the downside. So again, this could be quick. It could be swift. It don't take long, but also we're headed into summer months. There's not a lot of trading activity going on in summer months, and they like to sell them. They've been liking to sell the market overnight. So if you're swinging overnight, be careful that you are in the right direction. But majority of the time, you're just safer not swinging and absorbing that theta overnight. If you don't understand theta, again, grab my course, get into my mentorship. So you can understand delta and theta, how much money you're making per dollar move and how much you're risking holding contracts overnight. So when we look at these moves, you're like, okay, Chaz, you showed me a chart, don't have any indicators on it but the gaps. You gave me some different areas to look for. Now, once you take this step, this is your first step to see what to get in the market. But as we fell 20 points on SPY, and we fell 200 points on SPX. So this is where that money was made. Let's look at a couple of those contracts. First, I'm going to start off with the SPY contract. That one, the one I wanted to move. We had a SPY 740, and these strike prices are essential, and I'm pointing them out because I signaled them inside of my Discord. 745, 740. I told them 739 and a quarter. All of these strike prices, I gave my Discord and told them when to take them, what they were looking for. I told them one SPX breaks 7,400, it can get nasty. And it was already getting there. Like, I think I said 74 or 7,500. So we're going to look at those contracts. You're like, I'm trading in the market. I ain't never seen nothing happen like that. And that's because you are trading indices, you're trading zero DTEs, and they're not moving at these type of rates throughout the day. But when you get these swan events or things with these, we have these catastrophic gaps, that is when volatility kicks in and these contract prices explode. Let's look here. These are the contracts from Friday. Again, I'm not going to tell you to trade any way that you wouldn't already trade, but I told you guys $13. But if you had waited until 10 on this SPX contract, it was $8 freaking dollars. I'm coming in at when we start to see movement and told you guys 13. But this contract was as low as $2. Now, would you have gotten a fill at 2? Probably not. It would have probably filled you at 5. But had you waited an hour, this contract was up to $25, went up to 167, 222. We're getting peaks at 456 and right here at 587 on 8. This was way out of the money. Well, it wasn't quite in the money at that time, but 740 puts. Market was still sitting high. Let's look at SPY when it opened on Friday. So again, I'm not making it up. We're back testing, but again, it would have been in your setup. You're at 750 and you're getting a 740 strike, and this thing is just selling off. Now, are there variations and what would have confirmed that you could have stayed in? Yes, I do go over those and a bunch of the offers that I'm going to provide for you guys. But stick with me, excuse me. But it was definitely so possible. If you capitalize on some of those drops yesterday, drop them down in the chat. Let me know the percentages. Here we go. Wes already said he made 7% profit in his account, and we worked together one-on-one. What did you trade? What was your percentages? I realized yesterday that I was oversized my position and that I was losing money long term. See, once you learn to leverage, scale back, and create a system, you can capitalize on this market. Plenty of money to be made. And you don't have to have a lot of money. You just need to understand the skill set. Let's jump to another. When we looked at spot, let's look at another one, the spot contract. So you got in a little bit closer at 745 at 11. And this is Eastern time. This contract was $26. If you don't know what you're looking at, look over to the right of my screen. There's a 26 over there. It says 0.6. Looks like it's 26 cents. That is in dollars. Read everything on the right of my screen as dollar amount. So here we go. Going back to market open, this contract was 12 freaking dollars. On average, 15. You could have got this contract for 12 to $15. And in a matter of hours, as the market started selling off, $451, $650, $900, maxed out at over $1,000 for one contract. Let's just say you were just guessing. You could have just threw some money at the wall on a put and it would have printed. You didn't have to be a genius. You didn't have to know everything, but you did need to understand the skill set and what was going on with the market. Again, learn how to trade. This is a skill that's going to pay you day over day. My course, my one-on-one 8-week course is $1,400. This one contract would have paid for your whole course. If you just decided you wanted to get a one-on-one with me for $100, it would have paid for that twice over. I mean, there is no guessing when it comes to the market. It's understanding the skill, rinse, and repeat. Super easy. Again, $13. Like how much? Like I really want to know. There's 10 people on here right now. If you could learn how to turn $13 into $1,000, like what would you pay for that? Well, let's put a price on it. Like really, like again, we pay 30, 40K a year to send our kids to college, or we'll pay for some certificate program, or we'll pay for all of this other information. We'll send kids to private school. What would you pay? Like, what is your dollar amount to learn a skill that's going to show you this? And I'm going to show you how you don't even have to pay that much. Like, I break down how this was set up. I'll show you how you can rinse and repeat this with SPX in one of my classes that I've taught previously. And guess what? It won't be $1,400. It won't be $1,000. It won't be $13 either, but it's going to be a really good deal. So y'all drop down in the chat. Let me know if you could learn how to turn $13 into $100. What would you pay? I'll give y'all 30 seconds. Tell me, what would you pay? 10K plus. Blossom and Bloom said 10K plus. Again, you're learning to turn. Now, not just one day, not just one week, not just when the sky turns blue. You're learning to do this skill over and over again. This is not crypto. This is not, oh, this is the new meme stock. This is not based on any of those things. This is having the skill set, a repeatable skill set to do this over and over again. Y'all drop and let me know. We got 30 more seconds. I know the chat is delayed, but y'all let me know what y'all will pay to understand and learn this skill set. How do you get those $13 and $12 contracts? I don't find it in Robinhood. Pay for going to college at the end, not getting a job. That's exactly what I think people should start learning how to trade, because you are in control of how much money you make. It's not somebody else having to hire you. I don't go to the stock market and pull up my portfolio or my brokerage and say, hey, do you want to pay me today? Do you like me because I'm black? Do you like my, do you like my jokes, or is my work presentable? I go into the market with my skill set and I'm able to print money. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm black. It doesn't matter if I'm married, single, I went to jail before. The markets do not care. They care about, do you understand and can you implement to get more money out of the market? Like, this system works. Again, 10K. That's the max. That's the max I'm seeing. I'm going to keep going. Let's look at SPX. Now, I showed y'all SPY, and the reason I'm showing y'all SPY, because it's more affordable with everybody's budget. But SPX, let's say you got $100 to $500, SPY is going to be your friend. But if you got $500 to about $5,000, now you're trading with the big dogs, and you can make more money off leveraging the capital that you have. So let's look at SPX. What did SPX open at? 75.42 and closed down at 73.83. So this is I'm giving you ranges of what contracts you could have looked at and made some money. So we're gonna start out. Let's just say you just guess. You just were like, I'm just gonna get the most far out contract that still kind of made sense. And you got a 73.75 put contract that morning. Just on a Hail Mary. There it is. Let's get into 9 a.m. This is the market opening. You see the $14. There's this one. I think the wick was 13. There it goes. It's under there. But you're at market open 26, 22, $14. And this contract, that $1,400 contract, went up to $1,500 again in one day. Not working, not going out to recruit nobody, not calling people, cold calling, not selling a digital product. You were literally in one contract that you held all day as the market just continued to fall. And most of y'all like, well, Chaz, why would I buy that contract? It's so far off. Why would I keep it? Well, if I'm in a contract and it's not losing money, why would I sell it? So as you're holding this contract and you're making money, if I had a $13 contract and it went up to $288, I can get out. I could get back in when it dropped back to 19, and you could have got out again at $655. This is making the means for people, average people, to be able to trade. Everybody comes to the market and they're like, oh, well, they said we needed 25,000. When y'all can stop having that excuse, because they've already approved for margin in other accounts and day traders to only need a minimum of 2,000. They're lowering the gates for you all to make this money. I don't know why people are still sitting back not making it. Let me see what they got. IWM is, yes, IWM is way more affordable, and I'm gonna touch on that one too, because if your pockets are not deep, that's gonna be where the money makers were in. That I didn't pull up the IWM contracts to go back, but all of them got paid. Like if you were in these markets yesterday, you made money. I'm not going to lie. You were worth the price. I'm waiting July to see what I can do to come back. Again, you can always come back, Wes. I mean, I'm here. This is what I do full time. This was able to retire me. This was able to allow me to see that I don't have to exchange my time for money, and I don't have to sit up here and be put in a box. I decide how much I make an hour. If you want to work with me an hour and we talk, at minimum, maybe $50. At max, you might pay $200 to talk to me for an hour. But my clients that book those calls, they're leaving sessions with $2, $3, $9,000. I missed the sessions on Monday. We had a developmental session with my Discord group with all of the analysts. I missed it because my wife was in the ER. But I said, hold on. I do have one of my clients, one of my VIP clients that can trade really well. Is going to understand how to trade with us. I sent my VIP client over there. I didn't ask them for a dime. I said, hey, are you available today? I can put you on a call. No questions asked. Just go trade and make some money. By lunchtime, I reached out. I said, hey, how's it going? Are y'all still on there? My wife was about to be discharged. I still could not have traded. But I was like, cool, what'd you make? She messaged me back and said, I made $1,000. So imagine the access to me where you're paying 100 or 200, or even if you catch my special and get a one-on-one with me for $50, and I know you know how to trade, and I can give you access to that community where for free you were able to pull $1,000 out the market. Again, no questions asked. I didn't ask for a tip or nothing, because this client, I understood that they knew what they were doing, and I can send them in there, and that was a representation of me and what I can do for my clients. They don't need me to hold their hand every day. I come and trade with you guys and teach you guys how to trade, so you guys can fire me. Like I really want to know, like, how many people teach out here in the market that y'all go to and they're looking to be fired. I mean, my group and my analysts, we look to get fired. That's what we are here to do. We're looking to get fired. Let's keep it moving. Let's look at some more of those contracts. Let's say you got a little bit closer. You had a little bit more bread in your pocket, and you got in right when the market was dropping at a 7,500. And again, these are levels that I teach my clients how to trade on SPX. I'm going to drop on the widget because I hadn't shared it, because I didn't want y'all to be distracted, and I didn't want it to kind of be in the way. But if you look at the top of my left part of my screen, there's a QR code there. I taught people how to trade SPX strategically, repeatable every day, if you are using just power hour, or you can use the same system throughout the day to trade. The course is $197. YouTube, I gave it to y'all for $97. Y'all didn't jump on it. So now y'all only get $20 off. It's $177. to get the replay video. If you're the first 2 people to get this replay video, I will give you a free one-on-one where we can trade live and I'll go over it. But you got to be in the first 2. I ain't going to rush y'all. Y'all can go grab it. 177 and understanding how SPX works and how you can leverage the trading. But I'm going to give you a little preview of what that looks like. Again, you do need to have at least $100 to $500 to be able to leverage this type of strategy. So understand what you're purchasing. Now, I do have something for the people who are trading smaller accounts, less than $100 to 2. I do have my VWAP checklist and the replay to go with it. It is $30. So, you understand what you can afford and what you need and what you want to get out of this market. So purchase what you can afford. If you want the VWAP checklist, drop VWAP checklist. I'll reach out to you. If you want that, the SPX replay class, that's 177 in that free live trading session, go ahead and scan that QR code and get that link. But here, this is market opens. Look at the trade here, 930. It's $480. Again, I told you need about $100 to $500. But if you were in this trade by lunchtime, this was up to $4,000. $4,000. Again, let's say we waited. It's 10 a.m. You get in this contract. It's 6:41. By noon, 1 p.m., it is up $4,000. And by the end of the day, y'all add those zeros to that. That's $12,693 on one contract toward the end of the day trading SPX. It's a phenomenal ticker. And most people don't trade SPX. They don't look at it. They just look at IWM or they look at Spire. They don't even know that the indices are there, that they can trade it. But these are the contracts. These are the companies. This is what really give you value when you're trading. You don't have to go and trade Apple. You don't have to look at Microsoft. You can trade the boring tickers that get you paid every day. This is why they are my favorite. SPX is almost stepping up there. I mean, options will always be my first love because that's what I learned how to trade. But I will be going over to futures here soon. So I say, again, we are mid of the year. We're in June. Will I continue to teach options? Probably not. This will be rolling into an automated course. So if you want to learn from me one-on-one, again, my mentor taught one-on-one, Diamond Dave, go over to the Retail Trader. You can learn a lot from social economics and how to run a business and how to trade from him. But I learned from him live, and that was super essential. Even though I am able to understand from his automated course, I see that my clients do 10 times better by working with me one-on-one. They can't hide and say, oh, I understood or I got it or say that they made a trade. Send me the screenshot. Oh, I forgot. I can pull up your broker. Let me see what you did. You can't hide behind, oh, I'm going to just go through an automated course, take a quiz, and I'm supposed to be a trader, and now it's a scam because I'm not making no money. No, I'm seeing what you're doing. I'm utilizing and teaching y'all exactly what to do. So there's no hiding behind other people. I see you, you see me, you got to place these trades and make them. And I reach out daily to my clients asking them, hey, how was your trading day? Were you profitable? What did you mess up on? How do we learn from this event? So that is what I provide to you. You're not just a ticker or a number, just go buy it. I'm gonna come back and look, hey, have you utilized it? Have you even watched it? Are you trying to get this money? Because some people are not. Some people just want to say they're involved and want to say, oh, I learned how to do that. I'm just not doing it right now. I'm just so busy. I'm not trading right now. This is your road to freedom. You got your Wall Street Trapper. You got Aristotle. You got all these people. It don't matter. There's a bunch of people out here. Learn from who you resonate with, but make sure you're getting what you need and not just being a part of the crowd. Because being a part of the crowd, saying that you're just in or you've been doing this or paper trading, don't pay bills. As a full-time entrepreneur trader, I have to trade or I have to teach. I have to pay bills. My bills don't get paid off my thoughts or my potential. So again, I'm not charging y'all based on y'all potential. I charge y'all what I know you actually can get out of the market. If I charge y'all on the potential, y'all probably wouldn't be able to afford it. But since we don't pay bills with potential, I charge y'all what I think is a valuable amount where most people can capitalize and understand. I said I have my daughter, since I've been teaching, my daughter's been in the room. Since she was probably 12 or 13. And she come in and be like, I don't know what you was talking about. Went over my head. And I won't say water down, but I will make the concepts that come with trading and understand charts more relatable for everybody that I work with. I've worked with truck drivers. I've worked with lash technicians. I've worked with realtors. I've worked with teachers. I've worked with stay-at-home moms. And from baby formula to diapers to long range over the road trucking. I've been able to relate everything to what they're doing and make the concept so much easier to comprehend and win. I mean, my last check now, I'm sure she's gonna be quitting here soon. She's 6 months in now. But by the end of the year, I told her, hey, buy you a suite, retire, teach people how to do the lashes and just run the business and trade, because she knows what she's doing. She's able to understand how to trade and see these markets and see how much value you can get out and how much money you can make. Hey, Jake Repair says, thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Again, the channels like this that are really dropping the gems and giving y'all the information, y'all glaze over because y'all want controversy, y'all want rumors and gossip, and y'all just want to be a part of the big thing. Y'all want to be in Invest Fest and ain't got no money to invest. Build a capital, create a system, and keep learning. I'm about to sign up for another class, and that's why I say, if you want to learn to trade by me, this is your time to learn. Because in 6 months, if I'm in futures, and I can pull 10 to 100K a month, yeah, I'm not teaching y'all for $100. $100 won't even make me pick up the phone, won't make me check a DM. I'm doing it now because of the passion, but the avenues, like I'm capped. If you go pull up how much does a pharmacist make from 10 to 20 years, you get capped. There's a cap. I don't want to be capped on the money I make, but I also know how much money I can make when not having to trade enough time. Working 40 to 80 hours a week is not going to provide me happiness. It's not going to provide me time with my family. Doesn't allow me to touch grass. Doesn't allow me to get my melanin and get my essential vitamin D by being outside because I'm in somebody else's business. Now I trade my own business. I'm looking at the stock market. I can be in other people's business and not be their footstool to create it. So start to think about retrain your brain on money. Money is not the rule of all evil. It's not, and it is proof to some happiness. Money relieves stress. It is essential. Currency is essential. And that's why I will continue to teach these markets, showing y'all the value of the expansion of learning how to trade. Let's go back. Let's go to another one. It's again, I went to the bottom of the dump on that SPX contract. Let's say you got a little bit higher and you saw my Discord again. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all are like, you said you called it out in Discord, but we don't know what you said. We don't know what it was. All right. I have created a community that understands how to trade and how to understand when I send out signals and information. This system is what I'm considering to be similar to a GPS. It gives you coordinates and how to tell you how to get somewhere. So my system is more of a GTS, a guided traded system. I don't just give you a signal. I give you the knowledge on why I'm signaling, what we're looking for, and how there can be a continuation. That's a big difference in most other Discord. They just tell you, hey, take the trade, manage it yourself. But in the Mogul Stock Group, most of us analysts tell you, hey, we're not gonna hold your hand forever, but we do have analysts that will give you information and we can keep spoon feeding you till you got it. Because I want you to see, I want you to be, again, if you're new and you don't understand how to read charts, it's going to be hard to take a signal. So I got to walk you through that roadmap. So just like you cut the GPOs, turn left at the light, stop at the stop line. That's what I'm giving you as we take these traded signals. So again, there's no fluffing me. I do what I do. I'm really good at what I do. Here we go. That 750 put, which is what I was considering the day before, would have printed. I'm giving you all VWAP. I was looking at TSLL. Here it is. Look at the time yesterday at 10:37. You can pull up your SPX chart. I gave each level 75.50, 75.25, 7,500, 74.75, and 74.50. Then I started breaking them down. I'm telling you guys the levels. VWAP checklist hits every time. Look at the percent. Did I give her the signal? No, I gave her the confidence to get into the trade, but she had the checklist to do what she needed to do. Now, I know she was a little upset she didn't hold this all day because you can see where spot closed another $10 after this trade was closed. $162, 243. I've been on calls where people are making $13 to $20 an hour. This was not done by making money for an 8-hour work shift. You can look at the timestamp. This was made before 11. So let's say you go to work at 8:30 and you work an 8 hour shift. This was literally the market's open from 8:30. So Central Time, 9:10. This was 2.5 hours in the market and I already made $163. That's the magnitude and potential of trading. You don't blame me. I don't blame myself. But the potential of these contracts are phenomenal. Let's go. We're still watching this thing sell down. You can see the levels. 74.51. I already gave you the level an hour ago, a couple hours ago. There's a 7,500. All of my levels are marked here to the downside of where this thing can go. Gave the concepts. Where we going? Liquidity at 739.75 on SPY. We still went down there and swept that money up. Because what? We could read a chart. We can see it. Once you understand how to read a chart, you can see where the money is going. Let's go to SPY. You say, oh, that was SPX, but you was talking about SPY. Here's the money and this is the time frames. You can pull it up yourself. But again, I'm looking for them in the liquidity. How did I see it? Let me cut a couple of things on. Now y'all gonna go, oh, you got too much on your chart. It's hard. If it gets me paid, it's gonna forever stay on my chart. It's fair value gaps and some order blocks. That order block was back here. If I cut the replay on, the order block was right up here. They just sold through it right into here. So I knew the market was coming down there because they were coming for liquidity. Market likes to retrace back to us and come back for liquidity. It's a beautiful thing, but you got to understand and know what you're doing to be able to see it. Clean drop. There's a gap left right there. We couldn't break a new high, so we're going to put test of the low. Once we break that low retest, boom, we're selling right back down again. If you're taking any classes with me, you know, you got 748. You could have, or if you watch any of my previous lives, you know what contracts you could have taken. 748, 747, 746. You print money, 746. Okay, you say you take profit right here and you get back in. Where you going? 746, 745, 744. Money getting made. It consolidated for about an hour. So you would have still been okay because what? We dropped that low again. You at 742. Where's the next one? Psychological 740s. Boom. And then we come down, snatch up that liquidity. I mean, the game is simple. You just got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to put in a little bit of work. But like I told you, it's hot girl summer. You want to make this something. You can go party all weekend, or you can party and give me 8 weeks of your life to turn you into a trader by September. Because what y'all gonna be saying? Oh, school back in. I gotta get haircuts. I need school clothes. Erica Williams say it every year, and it comes around like clockwork. Oh, I'm struggling because the kids are home and I need food. You're not gonna beat inflation with a second job. You dang sure ain't gonna beat it with three. You're just gonna be tired. You gotta find a way to make money or an infinite amount of money without transferring time. Again, 2 hours. I get a market 2 hours, maybe three, and then I'm out the way. I'm setting alerts and watching, just waiting on things to print. And that's what these markets allow you to do. Your job is not going to allow you to come to work and just sit there and look cute. They want you to perform. But the markets are reversed there. I come and it needs to perform or I'm going to leave. And that's the autonomy you get when you are trading. Learning how to trade, learning which tickers are the ones to capitalize on. So we done rolled into how and why SPX sold off. And some of y'all may have missed that money yesterday. So let's get into how you can capitalize on it next week in the following weeks. Let's first take a look at seasonality. So we're going to look at the equity clock. Here is the equity clock. Usually we get a sell down in May, but we're in June, beginning of June, and we're already getting a dip. And this will probably continue to the downside. And you can see the percentage. We dropped a vast percentage here. There's our 2% there. You can see in a regular month, we're not really dropping no 2%. We can run 2%, but we're not usually seeing 2% drops. So if we get a 2% drop, you can see February, red February, we almost got 2%. So this year we're having over 2% drop, and like, oh, well, they're not gonna let it keep falling. It's gonna circuit break. Please, I've discussed this in multiple videos, and I'm gonna go back on circuit breaker. Stock market. Because y'all need to understand what this means and what triggers it. Because a lot of people just be throwing out words and inclinations that mean nothing. A circuit breaker in the stock market is an emergency mechanism that temporarily halts trading to curb panic selling. Did we get a circuit breaker tomorrow? Yesterday? No. Why? Because it did not make a significant drop. Look at the percentages. Everybody like, oh, they're going to halt the market. Level 1, 7% drop. Halts all trading for 15 minutes. 13% halted for another 15 minutes before 325. 20% suspends trading for the entire day. We did not trigger it. We came about a third of that way, but they're not. It can drop. And is utilized to cool off the market, but we did not see that. So keep those in mind. Don't be triggered by people saying, okay, the sky is falling, the market is selling out, it's going to pieces. This thing has been around longer than us, and it's still going to be around after. They're just trying to get more liquidity. And what do? They see retail or black and brown people coming into the market, so they want to utilize those people not being educated and not being able to do anything. They're used to an up market. We've been trending up, so most people don't know what to do when it's time to buy puts and it's trending down. They're like, how do I make money if the market is going down? It's just like going to a blackjack table. You betting on red or you betting on black. You just got to make the right bet. So in this market, you have 50 to 33% chance to being accurate. Why do you say that, Chaz? How is it 33 to 50%? Well, we only doing two things. We're only buying calls and we're buying puts, and the market's only doing one of three things. We're going up, going down, or consolidating. You only trade doing two. So the probability of you being successful in trading is way more than you being great at going to college or learning a new skill, because you don't have to be great. No lives are at stake. You're just using your capital. So I'm doing calls if the market's going up, puts if the market's going down, and doing nothing if we're consolidating. I have a 33% to 50% chance of being right. I like those odds. Y'all like those odds? If y'all are still with me, drop a one in the chat. Because y'all been quiet. I'm not seeing nothing in the chat. Y'all ain't giving my feedback. But I'm dropping a lot of knowledge, and I'm going to give a lot of stuff away for free. Again, I'm going to show you guys in the next 30 seconds how and what to trade next week. What to look for on the option chain. So drop those ones, and then I'm going to drop those off and what we're going to look at for next week. Then, again, this is not financial advice. This is my personal educated opinion, but this is not financial advice. Do take heed. Thank y'all for letting me know y'all still with me. So let's look at the chain. Let's look at the setup. Y'all let me know y'all want to look at SPY or SPX for next week, or IWM. First person to drop what they want to see, I'm going to go with that. Vic Shepard, I think you're new here. Thank you. Alicia, thank you. Blossom and Bloom. Drop the first ticker. We doing SPY, SPX, or IWM. Which one we want to rock with? I think that was SPX. Thank you. So we want to rock with SPX. All right. Let's go with the money. Now, SPX is going to be more expensive, so just know that. And then we'll do SPY after that. So we got to get into Webull. I got to do Webull web trade. So we can look at the option chain a lot easier. So, y'all still want me to log in? All right. So I'm going to pull up Webull. Dang. Web trade. I'm like, why is it not taking me to SPX? Here we go. So again, if we're looking at SPX, we got a couple of different factors in here. Let's cut this back on. We're going to kill a lot of the noise, because all we really need to see is a gap. We want to look at gaps. We don't need anything else. And I'm going to kill my drawings. Boom. And then we're going to go up on the higher time frame. See those gaps being left? So we're looking at the downside. You can be looking at 73.75s and 73.50s. This is going to be a mini class. I'm not going to go into details because, again, you can buy the course. I already taught it before. So we're looking at puts. We're thinking there's going to be a continuation down. Remember, I just said 73.75 and 73.50. How do I know that? How do I already see where volume and open interest is much higher at these strikes? Because people don't like to trade in between. They don't like nuances. They don't like noise. They like equal. They like common things. These are psychological levels. They like evenness. So 12,000, 12,000. You have put activity here. How much money is that going to cost you? Well, again, you got to have some deep pockets if you're going to trade SPX. Got almost $5,000 to put in this contract, but the potentials are very high. But we could probably get a much better potential on a different contract. It's just not going to move that fast. So again, $56. Keep these in mind. Write those down. Somebody drop those deltas in the chat. So $56 for the delta on the 73.75. If you come out psychological and you go 7,300, look at there, 19,000 people there. Why do I have Chaz? How do you know? Because this is what I teach. This is what I study. You come and learn how to look at the chart, then come hunt the chain and know what to get to. So now you got a delta of 30. So if we're looking at to the upside, where's the potential retracement back up? We're going to be looking at 7,400, 7,425. There's a 7,400. People are not super bullish. Look at the OI here. Nobody cares right now. Nobody's bullish on this right now. But when people are looking left, that's when we look right. When you go to the store and you go in, let's say a loaf of bread. Loaf of bread is usually $2.99, and you go to the store and the bread is 99 cents that week. Well, if you got 4 kids or a family of 5, you're buying 2 or 3 loaves because they're 99 cents. That's what happens when you're on sale. You buy more. But when it comes to the stock market, y'all exchange that and go, oh no, the market's down, it's red. Don't buy anything. Well, once we find a bottom or support, it's time to buy, because what goes up must come down. And if it's a continuation, the market sold off due to jobless numbers, not because companies were poor, not because companies were poorly traded. There's nothing wrong with Apple and Tesla, and they were all down as well. This was an overall market structure falling. So they will recover if they are great companies. Now, if you trade trash companies and they're down, they're still going to be down. They're not going to recover that much. So keep that in mind. We got SPY. We got a couple of SPX. Them July 17th puts are crazy. July 17th puts on who? On SPX or on? Don't click on those AM. Use the regular days. All of these went crazy though. So I gave you some SPX contracts to look at. Let's look at SPY and the levels on SPY, because this is going to be a little bit more in everybody's wheelhouse and affordability. Again, the recovery. We're looking at 739, 740s to the upside with a longer move back up to 752. Are they going to recover 752 Monday? Probably heck no. Again, easier to sell off than to jump back up. And unless there's like that Strider who moves to be open, or inflation rate cuts, we not getting them either. So again, we don't have anything, no good news to make people or the markets feel comfortable. And that is very clear by based on the VIX. If you've never heard of the VIX, I've done a couple of episodes on the VIX too. We'll do a briefing on the VIX. If we come down and looking at support, Chaz, why aren't you jumping right down to the gap? Because that's where all of y'all gonna look 728. That's where everybody probably had puts down to, because they think it's gonna fill the gap. But before we fill that gap, we have another slightly smaller gap there we almost touched, and another support right there that will make a triple bottom at about 731. So again, instead of trying to go to the extreme and make all the money and get in further out strikes, look at what's close. So as we look at those contracts, top two, we're going to be looking at the 737, 736 puts. I don't like it. 735 is more ideal. So 737, 736. And I told y'all to drop in the chat the 56 delta for SPX. Why would I pay $5,000 for an SPX contract at 56, or I could buy 10 SPY contracts and still have the same amount of delta? So this is how you leverage and use the market. Most people think you need another skill set or another job to do something, when the stocks that you trade become employees. You just see which employee is going to do the best for you with how much capital you have. Some businesses are small business, some businesses are large and have more capital. So you understand what clients you can purchase. Can I purchase and employ SPX? Can I purchase and employ SPY? Can I purchase and employ IWM? Find the employee that fits your budget. A lot of y'all trade outside of y'all budget. That's why y'all don't make money, because it's not moving fast enough. That's the key to when it comes to trading, is understanding the option chain, understanding the ticker, and how much it costs versus your budget. This is why I do custom trading plans. If you got $100 to $500, me and you and your conversation is going to be different from my client that flies overseas 3 times a week and has $10,000 to $50,000 invested in the market. Conversations are totally different. Mindset and strategy are exactly the same. Listen to that again. Conversation is different. Strategy and mindset is exactly the same. So you have to understand which companies you can employ to get you the figures that you want. And you may start out with lower employees. You may start out with those base. They're getting minimum wage employees. Then you might kick it up and now you got your $10, $20 employees. Then you have your top 10 employees, 20, 30, 40, $50 an hour employees. The system is the same. It's just a different vehicle. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Um, if y'all are good, let's look at some calls. If y'all think this is going to recover and go back up to the upside, 738, 740. You see, ideally those are going to be the contracts. And then again, look at your delta to theta, $36. I'm having less risk to reward on my side when I'm not trading SPX every day, depending on how much capital you have. So think about the amount of capital you have, what you can afford, and then what you can trade. If y'all are good on SPY, drop some twos in the chat. We're going to move on to IWM. And I forget I'm streaming to Facebook, guys. I'm not ignoring y'all. Leave y'all comments. I'll definitely answer them. Everybody good? I'm waiting on those twos. We can move on once I get those twos in the chat. Like I said, I know it's delayed. Let me know that y'all understand and are comfortable with SPY. One, if you want me to continue with SPY. Two, if y'all ready, and we can move on to IWM. Thank you so much, Vic. Yeah. All right. Looks like we ready. Appreciate y'all. So let's go to IWM. And again, I don't want y'all to think about the account size. Like I keep hearing people saying, well, I just got a small account, or I just got a little budget. I just got $100. If you have some money to trade in the stock market, you're in the top 1% because half of the people don't have money to trade. They don't have extra to be able to get into this market. So take the mindset off. I got a little account. I got a little bit of money, because that little bit of money can change your life. I've seen there's a trader inside our Discord. He had like $14 or $15 on Ford, and that thing went over 1,000%. Jumped that account from a couple of dollars to a couple of $100. So the magnitude of the market is phenomenal. So take your mindset, stop saying, oh, I got a little bit of money, I just got a little lot. Another mindset, stop telling people we broke. I'm very comfortable now when people ask me for something, I just tell them no, I don't have the money for your adventure or idea. Just straight bold face, just like that. Like I got it. I just don't got it for what you want for it. So we can, we can get off the phone. I was raised in a time, and I'm not that old. I'm 40, but like my parents raised me to pick up the phone. Like if I wanted something, I picked up the phone and called my family and asked like, hey, auntie, can I come over? You didn't just sit up and text. I don't text people about money. The only people that can text me about money stay in my house. So if you don't live in my house, I don't really want to be texted about money. I feel like anybody could be man or woman enough to say, hey, can I borrow $20? Or can I have this? And you can boldly ask me, you can boldly hear me say you no. So the markets, how you treat people and how you handle money, please get very clear boundaries. Because once you start making a lot of money, people feel like you are owed or obligated to give them some of that money to do and fuel whatever they want. And I politely just say, no, think about it. Make you richer longer. Tell people, understand telling people no is not you failing them. It's not going to make whatever happens because you told them no was going to happen regardless, or whether you gave them that hot 20 or not. So I hate seeing our people feel like they can't be rich because if they get too much money, they got to help too many people. And that puts them in fear of not making more money. Don't let that fear of having to take care of other people put a cap on what you're going to ever make. Because I'm comfortable saying no. If you need somebody, I charge 20 an hour. I tell people no all day for you. Tell them to text me. Tell them to call me. I'll tell them, no, they ain't got it. They ain't doing it. It don't seem financially sound. Give them keywords to make them understand why giving them money that you earn is not obligated to them and you're not going to give it to them. It's not financially sound. It's not in my business itinerary. It's not in my game plan to put what is the return. If I give you this $20, what is the return? I'm just loaning. Am I giving it to you? And my aunt told me way when I was younger, never lend money that you're gonna miss. So I never lend money to people that if they never gave it back, it's gonna put me in a position that's gonna hurt me or I'm gonna not respect them anymore. So never loan money that you're gonna miss. I'm doing my so bad. IWM, you can see IWM fell off as well. IWM lost 3.55%, $10. That's massive for them as well. So it is exactly the same. You're going to be looking at IWM 282, 283 calls, or we're going to be looking at it breaking. I would not take puts until we could probably break that 280 because that's going to be another psychological area right here. And you can see there's a gap left back there that we could also incline. Lower lows is 260s, but we do have that mid support. Again, we're going to see a path where this is going to bounce, come up, and we could sell back down here. So I wouldn't look at anything lower than 270. And on a day-to-day, if you put a swing like getting Friday contracts and you think we're going to fall more, look at 270s. But other than that, you need to stay within a tight range. $2 to $3 on those puts, no lower than that. And to the upside, same thing. Psychologically, 280, 282, 283s, maybe 284s. And then let's go check that on the chain. Again, these contracts, look at those percentages. This is the percent return from the previous. This is money you could have made. And it didn't take a whole lot. Again, these contracts are probably $1 to like 34,000% returns. Crazy work. Again, people are sitting at those 279s and you have a 43 delta. That's a beautiful thing. This thing drops $2. You're making almost $100 for a $2 move, and it's going to cost you about $200. They're like, oh, well, those are expensive. They're inflated because we had a lot of volatility on Friday. So look at the implied volatility. It's up slightly. It's spiked. If you're looking for the call side, 282, 283, 284. I don't like the open interest. Nobody cares. Again, I'm not trading. This is like going to an auction. I don't like trading when other people don't like it too, because you're going to get caught holding a contract. I literally this week, I say it multiple times on my channel, stop trading contracts or ideas that other people have that make no sense or nobody else cares about, because once the move happens, people are going to file out of those contracts and go to others, and you're not going to be able to exit. Literally, my client had a contract and they were trying to close. I'm going to pull it up because I forget the amount. But it's a prime example of how not getting caught up. They were trying to close the contract, and the range of the contract was $15 to $245. But no one else was no one else was on that chain. Nobody else was trading it anymore, so there was no buyers at 245. So market makers can't just run up and make somebody pay what you want for it. It's like going to the auction. Just because somebody wants that price for the car doesn't mean people are going to pay it. Now, if I go to the auction and there's 1,000 cars and 30,000 people, I can get whatever I want for it. But if I go to the auction and there's 1,000 cars and only 4 people, 996 cars not about to be sold. They control the market. So you have to understand you're in a market with other buyers and other sellers, and there has to be a supply. There has to be a demand for the contracts that you are having. GA Muscle said, can you explain how you know if a stock is about to pop or drop? Well, that's a little vague. What do you mean? There's a couple of parameters. So you can use a screener to see if companies are reaching their 52-week lows or if they're 52-week highs, and they may start to reject at those areas. If you're thinking about if they're gaining momentum based on popularity, those can be a couple of factors. So there's a couple of different factors that go into when they could pop or drop. I like to look at the option chain because sometimes those give me clues into where buyers and hedge funds are sitting, because they're going to be over 50,000 on the open interest and on the volume side when you're looking at that chain, and it may be further out in the market. Through the charting, I've seen you explain it before. So again, we can see where there can be bounces. Let me show you one that I use with one of one of my VIP clients. We've already marked this up, but I don't need to mark it because I can see and we know where our buyers are headed. It's about to hit this level. We know when it's at 58, that's a buy zone. And we're going to start looking at our option chain to see this bounce back up. Same when it got up here. I'll put this on the chart. You can see we have a buy and a sell zone of where buyers and sellers come in. Once they get in this range, we know they can pop or drop. So this is what I look for. So I'm looking for MP to bounce down, kind of find some support at 58, and then I'll be looking at buyers back up to 64. So then I take that and then I come over to, and MP chain can be a little thin, but it still prints out to what we want. Again, we're looking at a little bit more. We would want more volume and open interest, but the spreads are not horrible. Go out on that monthly contract. And again, 58 is about as far as that drop is probably going to go. You can see them right here. And then we're going to be looking at that reversal back up to 64. So we got to wait for these people to start to want to get back into that move. But we know it should be bullish after it hits 58. And we come and assess that chain. So when you're looking at the chart, you're looking for those bounces. You're looking for, is it getting back into particular zones where buyers and investors usually be? Now, this was a little off, but again, this is conceptual, uptrend, downtrend, and I haven't touched this chart. But you can see how the theory of what I was looking at and what we were explaining, we saw it. We said this would get a bounce up. It's just shy of my area. And then what happened? It starts to sell down into this downtrend. This is not an indicator. This is a tool that you use on this side. It's a channel. It's one of these daggone channels. Yeah, it's just a parallel channel. And I'm able to see when we're getting out of a trend. When do we break outside that channel? So again, came right up to the midline, breaking down, holding the support at the bottom. He already knows he wants more puts. I'm looking at, hey, we're about to hit that gap, and then Amazon could pop back up. Okay, I need to start using TradingView for these tools. Another essential tool, TradingView has their own channel. So go into TradingView, look at some of those videos. They're less than 10 or 15 minutes, and start getting comfortable with your tools instead of indicators. Get comfortable with the tools versus indicators. You all want the magic indicator, but they only give you an edge. If there is a magic indicator, it's probably going to be a couple of $1,000s, and I'm going to sell it, but you won't know I'm selling it. Probably not. But if you trade with over $50,000, shoot me an email. Y'all see my email scrolling across the screen. So if you trade or if you have capital 30 to 40,000, shoot me a DM or email. I'll get you tied into the indicator. It goes across all markets, predictive markets, very lucrative, and it's about 80%. But it's not something for everybody. It's definitely not for people who you're just trading with a couple of $100. You're welcome, GA. So let's keep it moving. So again, I showed you guys how the market made the money on Friday, and I'm showing you how it's going to make money in this upcoming week. If you guys want to reach out to me, again, I'm going to show you how to make some money, but we're coming up on an hour, so I'm going to say that for the next episode. Probably do it tomorrow, or we'll just end this one and come back on. But again, I just wanted to break down the option, what I'm looking at for next week. As far as calls and puts, it's too early to call it. Oh, let's go over market structure. So Monday, y'all are going to be in there and y'all are going to be ready to roll and say, hey, Chaz gave us some options to look at. You need to be observing Monday. Monday, the market's going to fill out what everybody's doing. It's like going to a dance and you got all the boys on one wall, all the girls on another wall. Somebody's waiting for somebody to pop out and everybody just have fun. You are not the person to pop out and have fun. The hedge funds, the brokers, they are the ones that's going to pop out and have fun. You just want to make some money while they do it. So understand, you don't have to be popular in the life of the party when it comes to trading. Wait for the market to give you the signal and then take the position on the trade. There can be reversals. So you are going to be in and out speed dating on Monday because it is trying to figure itself out. It is still figuring out. Then we may get some trends on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays can be pullback. Then Friday, hey, it could be pop or drop depending on the news. But make sure you're paying attention to how the market is moving, not trying to go full. Again, don't come in here trying to buy some $13 contracts on Monday. It happened, but it will not be a repeat. It's going to be subtle. People will be taking contracts way out of the money because they're going to think there's going to be a repeat of Friday. Can there be? It's always a possibility, but there's not a guarantee. So stay within a range when it comes to those contracts. Wait for us to see some type of trend, wait and be able to leverage that. I hope this has been helpful. If you've been getting value from this, drop some sevens in the comments. And I'm gonna give y'all some more special. So as y'all drop those sevens, again, if you want to learn how to set up this play using the utilizing SPX, go ahead and use that QR code to scan it. If you want to set up a one-on-one with me at a discount, my one-on-ones are usually $100. I was doing a Mother's Day, and I feel like since it's going to be Father's Day here soon, I'll run the same special for the Father's Day special. So if you need to work with me one-on-one or want to ask questions or get a chart understanding or a live trade together, those sessions will be $60. You need to shoot me an email and get scheduled. I have my Calendarly link. I'll drop it inside of the chat and y'all can get scheduled. I got some more content coming, so y'all keep an eye on it. But I'm gonna go over how business models are changing and how entrepreneurs have to protect themselves based off my own experience. And I would be going over how people need to have to have NDAs or DocuSigns, so we protect ourselves from chargeback. When it comes to intellectual property, people feel like they can play with your money and do a chargeback when they feel like, oh, I'm broke again. Let me go see what I can go get a refund on. And AI is not making it any better. I've seen people using AI images to defraud DoorDash and all of these companies to win cases against small businesses. Y'all want to do that to Walmart and other companies, that's fine. But when you do that to small companies or small businesses, I feel like you just lose respect for me because you're gaining a skill just because you can't utilize. It's like going to a car lot, and you don't get every mile that you get out of it before your next oil change. You mad at the dealership, you want to take the car back. So y'all just want to go do a chargeback. Oh, I didn't make enough money that I thought I was going to make, so they're a scam. They didn't teach me. No, you didn't put in the work to learn. So again, the discounts are there. The VWAP, again, based on your budget. If you have $500 to $1,000, that SPX live trading class and replay will be available to you. Again, the first two people that sign up and purchase that live trading replay, you'll get a live trading session with me, and I'll reach out to you to schedule. I can't see it right now, but I can see who are those next two people to make purchases today. You will get that live trading with me, and we will live trade either a morning session or the afternoon. So it'll be 2 hours in the morning or 1 hour during power hour to the first two people to sign up. Outside of that, you do have the VWAP checklist. That is $30. So you get the VWAP checklist and the replay. Let me pop that one up too. And then anybody can come back on the replay and check that out. So I'm going to just leave these up for a few seconds. So if anybody needs to grab them, they can. There's the VWAP checklist. If you say, and that's the replay included in there as well, or you can send a Zelle to my email that's scrolling across the screen. Let's say you want to talk to me. You say, Chaz, I think this is for me, but I'm not quite sure. And I don't want to make an investment without, fully confirming this is for me. You can book a 27 discovery call. I can go over. You can basically tell me a little bit about yourself, what you're trading and how much capital you're using. And I can create a custom plan for you of what you need to do and what would be likely for you, whether it's day trading, swing trading, or futures. So again, you don't have to make a huge investment and then turn around and feel like, that probably went for me, or this might not be ideal, or it might be good for me in the near future. The Mother's Day special, we'll just scratch through that and say Father's Day. That is the $60 pay link through Stripe. You will be able to schedule your appointment with me. If it's a morning live trading session, I manually schedule that. I don't want y'all jumping on my calendar in the morning trying to learn, because it is time to make money. So if you're not prepared, you don't understand your brokerage account, those type of things, that is for a evening session. when we do morning and power hour session, that is for us to make money. If you work during the evenings and can't schedule, then I will schedule your time during like between 11 and 1 when the markets are a little bit slower, and I can teach you during the afternoon hours. But morning and power hour trading is for making money. And I think that's about all I got for you guys. I have the Discord. If you want Discord, drop the Discord in the comments. I'll get that up for you too. Um, Thank you so much, GA, for scheduling. That's why I only trade, no customer service issues, no chargeback. And that's the thing, Pastor. This is Pastor. Y'all may not know. It comes with learning. I'm a being an entrepreneur, and this is where I will soon go. I will not teach forever because people don't appreciate it. I won't let one sour grape ruin the whole batch. But those are headaches that you shouldn't have to deal with. Is somebody, being fraudulent. If they didn't receive their skill or I didn't show up for them, I would have had no problem with helping them out. But when people don't reach out to you and they do a chargeback, they just trying to get their money back. And that's one of the headaches of being an entrepreneur. Or if you're a business owner and somebody doesn't receive the product that they wanted, or whatever. Usually you get some type of communication. Somebody will reach out and say, hey, I'm not getting this, or is there something else we can do? My clients know. I'm working with a client who I think they took a whole year off, but I knew them personally, and I work with you all personally. It's not like you're just getting a charge back to a course. You spent time with me. You've opened emails. You've looked at replay videos. So I know each client personally. So when they leave and come back or they have an issue, I don't mind helping them or doing what I can because it's really about learning this and it's super easy. So when people do that, I take it personal. And what do? You increase prices. So I was like, one, it just allowed me to be a little bit more exclusive with the people that I'm going to be teaching, because everybody won't get this skill and they definitely don't have to get it from me. So you got to be a little bit selective with your clientele. I weeded this person out, and they were a red flag. I thought the test was for me to figure out whether I could handle a difficult or a more difficult client, because most of my clients are easy. Everybody I've taught have been easy, and they all can learn. They may have qualms or technical disadvantages, but they hadn't been a problem. So instead of me internalizing thinking this was going to be a challenge for me, it was supposed to be probably a discernment to tell this person, nope, I will not teach you. And that's what I have. Like when you trade or you are an entrepreneur, you get to decide who you want to work with and who you don't. So keep that in mind when you're working with people. All money ain't good money. You can decide who you want to work with. That's why understanding this skill, I could quit teaching today and I'll just come on YouTube and just talk to y'all. But I still feel driven and a passion to teach people the way I have learned, break it down in a way that I think anybody can learn and it could be repeatable. So want to make sure y'all have that. That's it. You have to be selective in who you choose to work with, and just be quick to fire back like that. That's the thing. Fire back like after like the first two sessions, I probably should have been like, I'm gonna give you a refund. This probably not gonna work. And it's okay. It's okay. Still learning. I mean, I'm still a baby in this entrepreneurship and trading. I've been full time trading for a year, and it's crazy to say that I have not punched the clock or asked anybody for PTO or to take off in a year. So you deal with different qualms and different standards. You have a different type of schedule, and it definitely allows you to be selective with who you work with. You don't have to give everybody your time. Again, I think now, since I do YouTube and stuff now, you all can come to YouTube and find the information that you want. Y'all don't have to be bogged down or bother me. If you don't want, again, you got multiple people. Like in my analyst group inside the Discord, there's 7 or 8 of us that you could choose from of who you want to learn or how you want to learn and who you want to learn from. So you're not just like, oh, it's a limit. There's plenty of us out here teaching you guys. So take a few lessons. I go into a lot of groups. I get kicked out of a lot of groups. I get refunded a lot of times when learning how to trade, because there's always something else new to learn. There's always a better way to find something to do. And the market is always innovative to learn a different way to do stuff. So I'm always signing up, learning faster ways to build and grow, and supporting other traders that are just starting out. Again, I've seen a younger trader. I think she's like 19, and she's way ahead of where I was at 19. But again, I wasn't exposed to the market. I didn't know any of these things, but I'm rooting for her because it is awesome to see. Again, if somebody had taught me this at 19, it'd be crazy out here. But that is what we need. We need people to learn this skill set, not be a slave to the warehouses or fast food. Like, again, getting out of high school, we thought all we could do was, get a minimum wage job. But now, hey, kids are trading. You can set your kids up with a brokerage account, let them trade, and they could be, millionaires. I see another young man on Facebook. He has his own Airbnb. I think he has a tour road business, and he trades and teaches people how to trade. And I think he might just be 19. I think he's like a freshman in college now. So again, the skies are the limit when it comes to trading and the opportunities that it provides. So you just have to find your lane, find what you want to trade, but understand that the access that you guys have to me is going to be limited. Y'all got about another year, maybe year and a half, especially once I get into futures, to learn with me one on one, and then I'm just going to put this into an automated AI course where you can just learn from AI chats and go about your business, and or it just cost a lot more to work with me one on one because again, you get your time freedom back again. It's just truly a blessing. But I appreciate y'all being on. We've been on here an hour. I dropped all the links and the QR codes. If I missed anything, you see my email scrolling across the screen. You got about 40 minutes to email me if you want to respond back today. Or if not, yeah, it'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be going over. Y'all get a hint to tomorrow. And those people who stay and watch to the end, going to be going over how you can trade for free. So a lot of people are just like, well, I don't have money to trade. I'm going to show you a way that it's free. You have to use some money to do it? Yes. But if you got $50, I'm gonna show you how you can get some money to trade with for free on episode tomorrow. So I probably got 2 episodes for tomorrow. So morning before church and then probably something after. So stay tuned. I'm gonna drop those links. I'm gonna get you guys away. You got $50, put it to the side. Make sure you can be able to transfer it, but you're gonna get $25 free to trade. I'm gonna show y'all the IPO. That's the other thing because this one went a little long. So we're going to talk about how you can invest. What's it? How do you manage IPOs and when is a good time to invest in? And what are lockup periods? So if you're new and SpaceX is on your mind, we're definitely going to be discussing that tomorrow and how you can get money to make your first investment in fractional or a whole share of SpaceX. So stay tuned. I'll be back on tomorrow. Let me get the rest of these comments. But at the end of the day, nobody gonna block your blessing when you operate with integrity. Thank you so much. I mean, that's the only way. And I've seen more comments and things coming to me, letting me know. Like I commented on somebody else post, and it was just like, "Hey, you and this person, um, have always kept it real from the beginning. Y'all been the same way since before. Like I've never tried to be like any other traders. I never jack anybody else's style. I just am me in the way that I trade, in the way that I teach. I had to find what's going to work for me. And a lot of people don't like to teach the basics because they get burnt out. But it's fun for me to interact with people when those light bulbs go off and y'all really start learning how to trade and it really starts changing people's lives. I've had clients check in with me, you know, I got a diligent client that they've met with me on in their hospital bed in hospice. They're no longer there now, and they can trade. They're doing everything in their power, and trading has allotted them that freedom to be able to still make revenue when they're not able to go to a traditional job because of their health. So when I see things like that, that keeps motivating and pushing me to continue to teach, to continue to show up and help others, because it's bigger than me. And once you know that and you see the vehicle that trading can do for you, it's just phenomenal. But I appreciate y'all. Till the next one, stay tuned and y'all have a good one. Be safe out there.